Loyalty, I've discussed this a little bit with y'all about a couple months ago. Okay, when Coach Ramsey and I talk about hiring coaches, we talk about three main things. Number one, you got to love kids. You got to love working with kids. You got to care about kids. You got to do whatever it takes in order for that kid to be successful in his life. Number two, you got to have great work ethic. You got to know that you're going to work 7 days a week during the football season. And probably number one out of all that is you have to have loyalty to your football program and to your football staff. That's what loyalty means to us as coaches. That's how we hire coaches, based on loyalty. We talked about before, what are the key things that deal with loyalty? One of the big things that stood out last time I talked about you, is y'all said allegiance. Y'all said, Coach, allegiance. That means a lot. So what do we do every morning? We do the Pledge of Allegiance. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this because we've talked about loyalty before and how it means faithful, allegiance, devotion, dedication, constant, all these things right there, okay? Who deserves your loyalty? Okay, some of y'all could be a higher person, it could be God, it could be spiritual, it could be your family members, it could be your friends, your teammates, and this is where Coach Ramsey and I stand. If you don't like something about our company, tell me. Don't go talk about it to other people. Okay, go tell that person. Okay? If there's something good, go tell others about it. So if there's something that's going on in terms of in the football program, maybe somebody's doing something to somebody else, okay, it's not your job to go spread it out on Twitter. If you have loyalty to the football program, you go tell Coach, we're going to take care of it. Or you talk to that person that's causing issues with somebody else. Are we clear about that? Good. Okay? And then also you got to give loyalty to people who you feel deserve it. Okay? So let's check y'all out. Let's see what kind of loyalty y'all have. Let's see if y'all can figure this out. I always like giving tests. All right? So a husband speaking with a friend. Man, my wife is a wonderful lady, but she's a terrible cook. All right. So is the husband loyal? No. Disloyal, inappropriate loyalty. Which one of y'all thinks is probably the best answer? That's loyalty? Y'all think that's loyalty, talking about his wife like that?
Wonderful. Is she wonderful? She was like she's a bad cook.
All right. Well, you go and talk to your wife about that, and you'll see what she says about that. I would say that's disloyal. I'm not going to tell anybody now. I might say it under my breath. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to tell anybody else about it. Okay, an athlete telling his coach, yes, I know who stole the phone, but I can't tell you. He's one of my friends. What do we think that is? Is it loyalty?
No.
Yes. Who's he being loyal to? His friends, but his loyalty is inappropriate because what that person did was not loyal to another teammate. Okay? Maybe make it a little bit easier. Man, y'all doing terrible on this test. We're already at like 33%. A coach telling another coach, I know he may have never started in the past 3 years, but I think he can still help out our program. Loyal. Pretty simple stuff right there. Okay? So that's just some quick questions right there about loyalty. Now, I'm more of like a storyteller as opposed to talk about loyalty big time. Okay, you know who this guy is? Anybody know who this guy is? Genghis Khan. Okay? If you don't know anything about Genghis Khan, you're going to learn about it in your world geography class later on this year. Okay? Genghis Khan, he is one of the best warriors of all time. Okay? He controlled basically all of Asia at one point. His army was huge. He became a leader of a tribe at the age of 10 when his dad was poisoned. And then all the people in his tribe were like, ha! They cast him aside and he had to go live by himself. And 3 years later, when he's 13, he got everybody to join back up with him and made the biggest army, okay, that had ever seen in Asia. Okay? Now, Genghis liked to hunt. During this time period, everybody had hawks with them when they went to hunt. So we're going to be talking about loyalty. Now, the people that are the hawks are like your coaches. We're always talking to you about grades. We're always watching out your grades, how are you acting in class, all these things. It seems like we're always watching you. But you got to realize those hawks are loyal. And we're loyal to you. And that's the reason why we're always looking out for you. And that's hard for you to understand. You think like we're trying to pick on you. We're not trying to pick on you. We're loyal to you. Well, Genghis Khan, he liked to go out there and hunt with his buddies. So he wakes up one morning. He's got his hawk with him. He goes out with all of his buddies. And they all go hunting. And they're looking for rabbits. They're looking for deer. Whatever it might be. And if he sees a rabbit, he sends his hawk. Hawk flies down. Boom! Grabs the rabbit. Brings it back to Genghis Khan. Well, they go hunting all day. And they find nothing. They don't find anything. So they start traveling back. And Genghis Khan's like, I just want to go a different way. He's kind of sad about not finding anything that day. So all of his troops go off a different way. And he goes down a path that he normally went with his dad. Okay? So he's traveling down. He gets to this big rock structure. And he's kind of thirsty. He hasn't been drinking any water all day. He comes to this big rock. and there's like a spring up on the top that he knows about because Dad showed it to him, and there's water dripping down. Okay? So the hawk's like on his arm, but he needs to get water, so he tells the hawk to kind of fly off. So the hawk flies off. He gets his little cup and he goes over there, and he puts it under there, and the spring water coming down from the big rock is filling up his little cup. Okay? He's about 3/4 of the way, and he's about to drink the water. Hawk comes down, boom, knocks the cup out of his hand. Hawk flies off and up on top of the rock. King's like, what are you doing? Picks up the cup, goes over there, starts filling it up. Gets about halfway, looks up at that hawk. Okay, goes drink it again, bam. Hawk comes down again, knocks it out of his hands. King Kong's upset, you know. Okay, the hawk's supposed to be his loyal friend, and he keeps knocking this cup of water out of his hand. And he's thirsty, parched. Hey, he's like thinking, all right, that hawk does that again. You know what I'm gonna do? So puts that cup under there. Halfway down, is about to drink it. Here comes that hawk down, pulls out a sword, bam, hits the hawk. Hawk's laying on the ground, hey, barely breathing. And he's like, I showed you. So King Kong's like, whatever, I'm gonna leave you right there. Don't you knock that cup out of my hands. So King Kong decides to get some water, but he's been waiting too long, so he's just thirsty. He's like, forget this, and he can't find the cup anywhere, so he starts climbing up on top of the rock. It's all the way to the very top, and he finds the spring where all the water's coming out so that he can sit down and he can drink the water out. Well, as he gets up there and he looks down into the spring, there's this huge poisonous snake that's dead, and all of its venom was leaking out into the water. So King Kong realizes the hawk was really doing what? Being loyal to him, trying to help him out. And sometimes that's how y'all feel about us. Y'all feel like King Kong, because we're always like, hey, you need to pick up your grades. Hey, you need to make sure that you're staying after school. We're doing all these things because we're looking out for you. Because we're loyal to you. And what should we expect back from y'all? Loyalty. You clear about that? All right. How'd I do? Did I run on 5? Oh, I like telling stories, though, right?
Don't get even in a straight line. Slow down, slow down. We're in the lead right now, slow down. Get even, slow down. Stay off the ground.
Hurry, compete, hurry, compete.
Go, go, go.
Go back. Ride it up, let's go.
Hey, let's go, boys, come on.